So the Ktown Connects can come down there, set up a tent for $28?
I don't know. I don't know if we'll allow you guys in there. I don't know.
Yeah, it has to be entertainment.
Right.
Since founded in 2003 by Ray Forgianni, the Kenosha Harbor Market has not only been a huge success in our great community, but also regionally, as they offer organic vegetables, meats, ethnic products, flowers, handcrafted items, live entertainment, and more. With the passing of Ray in late 2020, his daughter has now taken over the reins and will lead the Kenosha Harbor Market to even more success. Today on the Ktown Connects podcast, we connect with the new executive director and one of the newest board members, Andrea Forgianni and Gary Schneeberger. Butchered that.
It's all right.
Cue that music. Welcome to the number one podcast in Kenosha, the Ktown Connects podcast.
Who says it's number one?
I do.
Number one in your heart?
Always.
All right.
And so are you. How are you doing today, Jason?
I'm great, Donnie. How are you?
Couldn't be better. Very excited about these two guests we have in here today.
I can't wait to go to the market and get me some produce and some flowers.
I cannot wait. It's so much fun on a nice summer day going to the market, walking around, seeing all the great things that the Kenosha Harbor Market has to offer.
Mm-hmm.
Well, wanted to let everybody know we are recording at Luigi's Pizza Kitchen, located at 7531 39th Avenue. They are open Tuesday through Sunday.
What's that number, Gary?
694-6565. I remember it since I was 12.
Luigi's is always number one. You can order online and view their full menu at luigispizzakitchen.com. So order those pizza pies.
Be sure to like us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. Hit that subscribe button. Drop us a review and tell your friends about the hottest podcast in town, Ktown Connects. Check out our website at ktownconnects.com for a great photo gallery, all our past episodes, links to all this other great stuff, and more.
Yes, speaking of links on our website, you can join patreon.com. This episode is going to be originally posted on patreon.com, and if you're a subscriber, you can get the episode early. So become a supporter starting as low as $2 a month. Visit patreon.com/KtownConnects. You find a lot of bonus material, cutting room floor stuff.
We have to thank our recent supporter, Heather Osterlund. Thanks for signing on. We appreciate your support.
Thank you for that. Hey, Jason, do you want to wear our logo on your head or on your chest?
Yes, please.
Well, check out our merchandise store, courtesy of the Lettering Machine. For all your embroidery and print needs, contact the Lettering Machine. They are located at 720 50th Street. And, for your exclusive Ktown Connects merch, go to their store at theletteringmachine.com, or you can find it at ktownconnects.com. And I am wearing one of our shirts right now.
Ooh, with our faces on it. Look at that. That's a great drawing by Donovan Shearer of Studio Moonfall he did.
Yes.
Awesome.
It's like going to see your favorite band and wearing that t-shirt to the show.
We'd also like to thank our other sponsors. We have a Blue Collar Tavern at 2627 63rd Street.
We also have Captain Mike's, 5118 6th Avenue.
We also have Union Park Tavern, 4520 8th Avenue.
Our good friends Sarah and AJ at Lucci's Grandview, 6929 39th Avenue.
And the Pine Blossom, 5925 6th Avenue A.
Don't want to forget about Lou Prini's Gas and Grocery, 5145 Sheridan Road.
Yeah, they finally give us the free water now.
Yes, we really appreciate it.
After begging and begging and plugging, they finally...
They caved to the success of the Ktown Connects podcast. Well, welcome, Andrea and Gary. How are you guys doing today?
Great. Thank you for having me.
Oh, it's an honor.
We are doing wonderfully. We are working hard. We had to break away from preparing for the new season of the market, which is when, Donnie?
I believe it's May 8th. May 8th.
Thank you.
And it's going to run all the way till October 30th. So that's great. That is fantastic. So we're just going to kind of get to know you a little bit, and then we'll dive deep into the harbor market stuff.
Oh, yeah. Can't wait.
We're going to dive real deep. So, Andrea, did you grow up in Kenosha?
I did. Born and raised in Kenosha.
Ooh.
Yeah. Elementary school, junior high school here.
What side of the city did you grow up on?
I grew up over near Jeffrey Elementary.
Oh, Jeffrey. I went to Jeffrey.
I did too.
Oh, my goodness. Wow. The Jeffrey Gremlins.
Oh, is that what we were?
I believe so, yeah.
When I was there, we were probably not that. But
No.
Okay.
When I was in elementary school, we didn't have a mascot. I don't know, maybe you too.
Oh, you're just too old, huh?
Yeah, I went to Curtis, a strange school.
That sounds strange. So what was it like growing up in Kenosha then? Did you enjoy? What were the things that you did?
Oh, goodness. First of all, I have a younger sister, so we spent a lot of time together. I also have cousins I grew up with in Kenosha. It's a large Italian family on my mom's side. My dad was an only child. So lots of summers spent at my grandparents' house and my grandmother's house, festivals.
Kenosha's known for those church festivals.
Yeah.
Oh boy, I got in trouble at those a lot.
What's your mom's maiden name?
My mom's maiden name is Chiapetta.
Okay. So that's another well-known Kenosha name.
Very common, yes.
You're like a celebrity here.
No.
You're like the biggest star we've had on the show.
No.
So then growing up, you said you went to Jeffrey and all that. Did you just start there? First grade and all that good stuff? Or
I went to Jeffrey from kindergarten through third grade.
Okay.
And then after that, Roosevelt Elementary.
Oh,
This
good
is part of a
old
magnet
Roosevelt.
program.
Oh.
Yeah.
That actually happened to me as well.
No way.
I went to Jeffrey through fifth grade, and they put me up a grade.
Oh.
Mostly because I was a bit of a problem.
You, Gary. No.
And then I went to Roosevelt, and yeah, there you go. So we have the exact same trajectory. Look at that, Andrea. Wow.
Wow.
No wonder why you got on the board.
See, there you go. Shared experience.
So what were your parents like growing up? What was that like?
Well, my dad was a civil servant, a city employee the entire time I grew up. So he did spend a lot of time at work and in evening meetings and whatnot. So it was a lot of my mom's responsibility to, take care of the kids in the house. But they were both very supportive. Hands-on parents, parent-teacher conferences, going on field trips, Girl Scout activities. I remember my dad once took me to a Girl Scout prom in late elementary school. That was a riot.
Oh, yeah. Give us all these details.
Oh, that one's not too interesting.
It seemed interesting because we're on audio, not video, but when Andrea said prom, she made the air quotes. So
true, but prom is more of a high school thing. This
Correct.
was elementary school, and it was just very, very, very awkward. I don't want to dance with my dad in elementary school. Who wants to be like you dancing with your mom in elementary school? That'd be fun.
Was it like a daddy and me event, or was he like, okay, so there's
Daddy,
other
daughter.
dads there?
Yeah.
He wasn't like your date then?
No.
Okay.
No.
Because that would have been a little embarrassing then.
Because you had the guys probably lined up. And you were like, no, I'm bringing my dad. You guys, he's going to...
I was a nerd all the way through school.
Oh.
Thick glasses that got only thicker through college. Yeah.
Okay.
Which I might add, UW-Madison, also my father's alma mater.
Oh.
And one of the best bargains in colleges in the state.
Yeah, that is.
I remember writing my first tuition check for $1,800.
Wow.
Now what is it? I don't know.
that comma's moved somewhere
Right?
else. Yeah, that comma has moved down the line.
All right, so then you went to Jeffrey. What high school did you end up going to?
Tremper.
Ooh, Tremper. I went there as well for a little bit.
As did I.
All right. What did you enjoy going to Tremper?
I did. Actually, one of my favorite teachers of all time, well, I have two favorite teachers. One was an elementary school teacher, Marge Meyer, who is actually one of our vendors for this season. She's
very
the
nice.
owner of Revision Gallery.
Oh, yes, she is a very
awesome.
nice lady.
I reconnected with her. We chat on Facebook. She really wants to meet my kids.
Oh, she's an avid golfer.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
I didn't know she was at Tremper. What'd she do there?
She's not at Tremper. She was an elementary school teacher of mine.
Oh, okay. All right. Sorry.
No. She was amazing. She was one of my first teachers who actually
cared.
Right.
You always remember those.
Engaged. Mm-hmm. I think to some extent all the teachers care, but she engaged, like saw each child individually with their own gifts and talents and potential, and did her darndest to bring that out in every single kid.
How would your classmates from high school remember you?
The nerd. I was the editor of the yearbook. I was in band in junior high.
That doesn't sound nerdy.
I was a mathlete in junior high.
Okay,
that's
now
a
you're
little bit nerdy, and
right?
No contacts at that point. I had very thick glasses, so.
I'm going to play their role for a second because they didn't let you say who your favorite high school teacher was.
Thank you. The late, great Terry Lawler.
Yes.
Was my high school English teacher senior year. I know he was involved in Lakeside Players for a while, and he's been gone for, I think, a decade now. But if any students out there who had him as a teacher know what I mean when I say he was very blunt and direct. But he really knew how to get through to all of the students.
I don't remember him because when I went to Tremper, I only went there for about a year. Then I got asked to leave.
Uh-oh.
I was a bad boy. Well, you know that, Gary. You know
I got kicked out of Jeffrey, so I mean.
Oh, boy, you started early.
Yeah, so.
Now, Mr. Lawler, and I still call him that, he was very intimidating. And I would be remiss if I didn't mention another high school teacher, my pre-calculus teacher, Charles Short. I still call him Mr. Short. And he said, no, it's Charles now, and I still can't do it. Still can't.
You're still showing that respect, you know. That's a good thing. So what do you think has changed in Kenosha? You grew up in Kenosha. I mean, it's years later. You're an adult now. What do you think has changed? Is the city better than it was then? Or what is your take on Kenosha nowadays?
I like to think it's evolved. It's definitely not the Kenosha that we grew up in. You know, auto manufacturing plants are gone, including the one downtown where Harbor Market exists, including the one over on 52nd Street, all gone. And those places are now being regentrified, channeling my dad a little bit here, into housing developments and mixed-use developments and public land. So I think that's one of the biggest changes that comes to my mind between what Kenosha was like in the 80s when I grew up and now.
Do you like it better?
I like a lot of aspects of it better. Definitely the lakefront is a lot more scenic.
Oh, yep.
So I go down there at least once a week to just very long walk.
Just soak it all in.
Exactly. And especially on summer days, it's there's no better place to be.
All right. So you graduated Tremper and then you went off to college. What were you studying? This is interesting.
I continued to be a nerd in college, which I'm sure is shocking to everyone in the room.
She says nerd, but when she says this, you're going to go, she's really smart.
Well, I read the bio.
I have a degree in molecular biology from UW-Madison.
So is that your plan to study that when you were in high school? Is that what you were looking to do?
I was actually pre-med in college. Kind of shifted gears with that and went more towards the research front and did some stem cell research postgraduate from my bachelor's degree. But it was always going to be in the sciences, in biology. And at that time, Madison did not offer a general biology major. So looking through the course catalog, what looks interesting, and my dad actually pointed out molecular biology. This is the stuff you like. and thus became my degree.
Wow. Very nice. So you finished that, you graduated there, and then you decided to go to Parkside, or what happened here? You said, I need more. I got to learn more.
Well, after my stint in Madison, I came back to the Milwaukee area and worked for a couple of years at the medical college. Mm-hmm. Did some research in a cardiovascular research lab studying blood pressure medications and ACE inhibitors.
Oh, wow.
Yes, fascinating. But I found that wasn't a direct way to help people. And I realize it might sound a little bit corny, but the whole reason I wanted to go into medicine and biology and now nonprofits is because I have that I want to help people mentality. Mm-hmm. If I'm going to be spending time and energy away from my family, I wanted to mean something. I wanted to end every day making the world a little bit of a better place.
Very touching. I like that. So then you went to Parkside. What made you do that?
Parkside was a 9-month program. Mm-hmm. It's a certificate in nonprofit leadership. I actually did the entire program while pregnant with my son.
Oh, wow.
So there were a lot of bathroom breaks involved in that course. But it was absolutely fascinating. The speakers, including Guida Brown from the Hope Council. I remember her. Fascinating speakers, content that I use to this day.
So was this like shortly after Madison, you went to Parkside, or was this like an extended period of time afterwards?
It was a little bit of time afterwards.
Okay.
Parkside would have been in fall 2015 to spring 2016.
Okay. All right. That's recently to old people like me.
It feels just like yesterday.
Yeah, right?
What kind of job did you get then? You decided to quit being a biologist, right? And you're like, this is just not for me.
I was already done with the bench research at that point. I was already working in the nonprofit sector at the Racine Symphony, doing everything from project management, and then became their development coordinator, writing grants, helping with fundraisers and communications, press releases. And I worked there up until...
Yeah, you were there like 10 years or something?
Almost.
Wow.
Yeah.
You must have really loved it.
I did. It was a wonderful place to work with my first mentor in the field, Bonnie Prohaska. Hi, Bonnie. She provided a place for me to grow and find myself, and also was supportive to me in my growing role as a mom. So all around fantastic person.
So those years working there, then you decide to kind of help out at the market? So you're kind of doing both?
I was doing some freelance work with the market, which became more of a volunteer role more recently.
And what was that like working with your dad? We're like,
I actually worked not with him on purpose.
There you go.
It seemed prudent for many reasons. As anyone who's ever spoken with him knows, he had a very strong personality.
So then you're at the market for you were past 7 years you've been kind of helping out?
Yep.
So take me back to that first day working for the market, and your dad's you're like, stay away from me, I want to do my own thing? Or was it nice to be together working on something that you both were so passionate about?
It was a mixed bag of things, because he could always be very intense in what he did, and market no exception, because that was his big project post-retirement from the city. It was what kept him going, I think, that and his grandkids. But it was a wonderful experience watching him do the work that he loved, and provided a whole lot of inspiration. And at the same time, being very thankful that I did work with others on the board who also had a great deal to offer in terms of teaching and from their experience.
I mean, it's really expanded from that first time in 2003. I think Beth Derry was saying there was 18 vendors to start off with, or something like that.
Something like that.
Wow, what a great job just building that up to what it is today. Well, I think with that, we're going to take our first break, and we're going to come back, and we're going to dig deep on this new season starting May 8th at the Kenosha Harbor Market.
And we're back from that great break.
Great sponsors we have there.
And speaking of sponsors, keep an eye out on social media for our next big giveaway, sponsored by these great local businesses.
Frank's Diner, Faded Barbershop for Men, and Lulu Birds.
And if you follow us on social media, which you better, you've seen our numerous giveaways we've done. We have another one coming up real soon. And we're also putting together a big one for the end of season 2.
So big.
And this one will not just be for people on social media. Anyone can just click on a Facebook link.
Nope.
This big raffle will be exclusive for our listeners only.
Yep. If you're listening, you're eligible.
We're not going to be promoting this on Facebook one bit. Just by listening, you are eligible. Drop us a line at ktownconnects@yahoo.com with the subject line raffle. Don't worry, we're not going to be sending you any crap email or sell your email to anybody. Drop us a line, you'll be entered in the giveaway, which will be held at the end of season 2 in late June sometime.
In June, beginning of July.
We'll do that on Facebook Live probably, and people will be like, what's this? Well, you should have been listening.
Yep, you got to listen to the #1 podcast, the Ktown Connects podcast.
We get a lot of social media interaction, but we need more of those people to actually listen.
Right, the people who care about what's going on and what's happening.
We got some great stuff in this. So we got
tell me about
some great merch. Got a Ktown Connects t-shirt and a hoodie and some gift cards for everywhere, pretty much.
Frank's Diner, Faded Barbershop for Men, Lulu Birds, Pine Blossom, Union Park Tavern. We got that great mug that Lemon Street donated to us.
Yeah, Vallejo's brought us a t-shirt. We got all kinds of cool stuff.
Yeah, it's going to be great. We're here with Andrea and Gary from the Kenosha Harbor Market, the number one market.
That's right,
in town.
Kenosha's original harbor market. You bet.
Yes. Well, you guys can find more information at the KenoshaHarborMarket.com. They're also on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
Not so much on Twitter, mostly Facebook.
We don't do Twitter very much either.
And just to make sure, it's KenoshaHarborMarket.com, not the KenoshaHarborMarket.com. In case some people heard your "the" and thought that was part of the address.
KenoshaHarborMarket.com.
Does anyone actually punch in the address anymore? It's just Google stuff and just, okay, there it is.
Yeah.
Click.
Yeah, right.
And you can find the Harbor Market starting May 8th till October 30th on 2nd Avenue and 56th Street in beautiful downtown Kenosha. They're going to be open every Saturday, 9 a.m. to 2 p.m., rain or shine.
Starting May 8th.
Yes, May 8th. Till October 30th.
I'm sorry, what day was that again?
I believe May 8th.
There you go.
Which you're listening to this episode when it comes out, it'll be next Saturday.
Yeah, so get on down to the Kenosha Harbor Market. Are you guys going to be there first day, right?
You bet.
All right.
Absolutely.
Perfect.
And second day, and like the entire season.
Where else are they going to be? Hanging out, hiding in a local bar?
I don't know, maybe hide it out in the museum or something. I don't know.
I mean, that's one of the things about being on. That's one of the things about being on the board that appealed to me was the idea of being able to go down there and help, being able to go down there and kind of be a rover and work and do things and get tugged on to do, So that'll be extremely enjoyable.
So, Andrea, you recently took over as executive director. What has been some of the biggest challenges so far before the season even begins?
Well, there were a couple. I think the obvious one is how to run a market during when we're still dealing with COVID. It's definitely not the same as it was last year because of the vaccine and the availability of that and the number of people in Wisconsin who have been vaccinated. See, a little bit of my nerd came out here. Sorry. And also trying to convey that this never has been and never will be one person's market. Kenosha Harbor Market belongs to the community. It always has and it always will.
Yeah, and I want to add one thing to that, and that is Andrea gets cited a lot as Ray's daughter, and she absolutely is proudly, unquestionably Ray's daughter, but that's not the period to her sentence.
There you
right?
go. I
she
like
is,
that, Gary.
She is carrying on the vision that her father had for the market for sure, but she has her own vision for the market as well.
Oh, we're going to get into that.
And that's what you guys are going to tap into now. So it is a mistake to color Andrea completely with only the Ray Forgianni crayon, because there's more to her than that. That is an absolute essence of who she is, but there's more to her than that. She has her own ideas and her own vast experience that she's bringing to bear on what we're doing, and it's exciting. Truly, it is.
So, Andrea, I have to ask, your dad passed last September, and after you took care of the things you had to take care of, did you have it in your mind already that you were going to take this over, that you were going to keep this going? Or did it take some talking into it? Did it take a little pressure from others to kind of get you involved? Or
at the time, it was such an emotional situation that work and anything even remotely work-related didn't cross my mind. It was taking care of my kids who had just been through a trauma and making sure that my mom was okay. The thought did not cross my mind. At one point, I was invited to serve on the board. I was like, oh, fantastic. I will do that. It was literally a few days after he passed when I was invited to join the board. And that I thought that was the most wonderful thing that I could do to honor him and to help influence and help the organization succeed. And shortly after that, I was approached by the board to serve in the role as executive director, which is basically what he did without that title. I thought about it, really thought about it.
Yeah, how long did you think about it for?
About a week. It's a big decision.
Yeah.
It affects a lot of things. I wanted to make sure all the key players in my life were comfortable with it, because that kind of role, it doesn't just affect me. It affects everyone in my sphere.
Well, how do you deal with the pressure now? I mean, you have a lot to live up to, so to speak. How are you handling it?
I am actually doing well with that. I have an excellent support system. My mom,
board member.
A great board member. My board, I call them my board. Our board is full of volunteers with an amazing wealth of knowledge and experience. Everyone from Linda, who is a nurse and provides a lot of...
Oh, Linda Ruffalo.
Linda Ruffalo. Yep. Very, very wonderful lady. Christine, our board president. She's very in tune with the community. Gary, who I really enjoy working with. Now so we're in the same room. We always had a lot of good phone and Zoom conversation.
That's right.
Or I could catch you on Messenger or wherever.
She knows the best way to find me if she wants to find me quickly. Isn't text, isn't phone call, isn't email. Get me on Facebook. She figured that. That's how smart she is. She figured that out.
Now I figured it out, so I'm going to be bombarding you.
There you go.
And John Collins is also involved. Is he a board member as well? He's a big fan of the Ktown Connects podcast.
Well, he's a big fan, but he's going to be on the show. He's a future guest. He's coming in a couple weeks. So
John he's our board vice president, and he lives very close to Harbor Market.
And he's been involved for quite a while, right?
I want to say about a year.
Oh, okay.
Is there any dirt on him that you can share with us? We can bring up to him when he comes on the show.
We'll talk after.
All right.
And then Rex Davenport is part of the board as well. He's been there for a long.
Rex is not on the board.
Oh, so he's just kind of helping out a little bit here and there.
With a little bit here.
He's always dipping in something in Kenosha. He's great for the community.
Yeah,
he is.
Because he's part of the board of Lemon Street with me.
I've heard.
Yeah.
It's a very small world.
Yes, it really is. He's one of my favorite people ever.
If I could elaborate on the previous one, my support network is professionally with the board, and obviously personally. I have 2 small children, 4 and 2. My husband now has more of a flexible work schedule, so which allowed me to come down here today. Hopefully the house is still standing when I get home. But my mom has been a godsend. She watches the kids the other days of the week. And if any of my Facebook friends see my pictures,
good-looking food that you eat.
She literally will drop the kids off with a pan of freshly prepared food, and it's still hot.
All right. So what can people expect each week from the Kenosha Harbor Market?
You can expect the diverse array of vendors that you've known since 2003. We're going to have an amazing produce lineup, some new. Okay. So some I'm not going to say yet because it'll be a big reveal. Lots of very fascinating ones that you wouldn't.
She's learned PR really well.
You trained her well.
She knows how to hold that back until we're going to reveal.
Lots of produce. And our soap vendors will be back too.
Oh, very nice.
All of these were considered essential vendors last year. So yes, they will continue. Meat, dairy products, other proteins, those will all be there. But we are absolutely thrilled to be able to welcome back our artisan and craft vendors. Yeah. So we have, I alluded to Marge Meyer Revision Gallery, several arts and craft vendors, some new faces, and
I think I know what you're going to say.
Go ahead.
This is, if it's what I think Andrea's going to say, this is an exclusive.
Oh my goodness, give it to the Ktown Connects podcast.
This is an exclusive to the Ktown Connects podcast. Never spoken before outside of our board meetings, but we are also welcoming back this year.
You tell it, Gary.
We are welcoming back this year our nonprofit vendors. So those folks who get free booth space, who can come in. And so in addition to what you can buy from vendors, you can get information, you can get, about all of these. And I don't know exactly all the ones that we've got on the list. You know those, but we've got several nonprofit already signed up. We've got several of these already signed up, right?
Can you give us a little idea? Some of these people?
I don't want to give away anything.
I guess they got to go.
There's a limit to how many exclusives we can give. Okay. There's going to be nonprofit vendors. Come to the market on what day?
May 8th.
Beginning May 8th. And you can
Saturday.
see some of those nonprofit vendors. Back again. Another sign, right? Another sign that things are returning to some sense of normalcy.
I like that. Very excited.
And adding to the exclusive, we're going to have the entertainment back.
Ooh.
So I believe we already have all the musicians booked or close to it.
Who you got?
I'm not going to say anything, but I will say we have the Bookmobile coming starting from week 1.
Oh, cool.
Oh, very nice.
We have them, and the Blood Center will be back. Well, not be back. I don't think they've actually ever been to Harbor Market. But they'll be there for 4 Saturdays.
Wow, that's great.
Awesome. So, and do your shopping, eat some good food, and then go donate. Not in the reverse order.
Right.
And the schedule of what entertainment's going to be there. Look to our Facebook page. look to our website. Those things will be available. So if you stay plugged in at KenoshaHarborMarket.com, you can see some of those stuff. Find us on Facebook, like us on Facebook. We'll have that information available there. So while we can't spill the beans now, beans will be spilled abundantly on social media and on the web.
So, Andrea, is this your full-time gig then, just doing this, or do you have another job? I mean, I know, not counting being a mom. I know
that's quite the philosophical question.
Yeah.
No, it's a part-time job.
Okay.
Sometimes it feels like full-time.
Especially when the season's just kicking off like this now.
Right, but when you do what you love, it doesn't really feel like a job.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I can say as a member of the board, which in some way I guess that makes us your boss, right?
It does.
You're fired.
But one of the things that we do every board meeting is Andrea does an executive director's report. And she said part-time job, and she indicates how many hours she's worked. Okay, technically speaking, she's usually under what most people would consider a full-time job. But let me tell you, it is a thin crust pizza distance between full-time job and part-time job with all of the hours that she's putting in, all of the energy beyond the hours, all the energy and the expertise that she brings to all kinds of different areas of what we're doing.
All right. Besides COVID restrictions, you're obviously going to have a few of them. Will the market look any different, or will it always just keep the look that it had? Any changes you're making?
Well, she said she's going to bring her own flair to it, so I'm kind of interested in what kind of flair this is.
Well, obviously the safety procedures will be in place due to COVID, and I think everyone understands that at least for the time being we have to have it. But we're going to keep the same general feel of the market, which is the lined up white tents, the music interspersed within the tents, the diversification of the vendors. But adding on that a little bit, we are expanding a bit of our reach in the community with an incubator kitchen.
Yeah. This is that. It's been announced already, but that's huge news.
It is huge news.
And what is that? Can you go?
It is called the Kenosha Incubator Community Kitchen. It can be found at thekick.org. Okay. What it is a licensed commercial kitchen run by professional kitchen managers, operated by Kenosha Common Markets, which operates Kenosha Harbor Market. And it's an affordable place where vendors who are just starting out in making their food products or looking to expand in their food product production, where they can rent some space and do what they need to do to expand, grow, and help their business thrive. And it was one of the visions that my dad had. As part of our mission is to help those small businesses grow and thrive.
Now, with these vendors coming in there, is there a certain time they can come in? Do they have a key to the place? They can cook it up whenever they want, or is it just for?
There will definitely be keys involved. Mm-hmm. We're going to occupy it in mid-April, which I realize will be prior to when this broadcast airs. Keys definitely be involved. Business hours, we expect to actually have a full house and be able to help several businesses.
And you have to be vending at the Harbor Market to be part of this, correct? I couldn't just say, "Hey, give me some space. I'm going to start making some pizza pies."
You could try saying that. I don't think you get very far. No, preference will be given to Harbor Market vendors, and if there is any space in the kitchen, time-wise, after that, then we would open it up to the broader Kenosha community.
And where is this going to be located?
It is at the Unity Lodge on Washington Road.
Okay.
We've leased out that commercial kitchen space. So we're helping them with some much-needed income, helping our vendors.
All right.
Speaking of vendors, then how do you guys get these vendors? How do they apply, and what goes through the process of letting them in? You just don't let anybody in, right?
No, we don't just let anybody in. There is an online application at KenoshaHarborMarket.com, and that is the only way to apply. We don't do paper applications. We have an online system for vendor management. Still getting the hang of that one a little bit. It's not too difficult. Anyone who is interested, I encourage you to read the information for vendors on our website prior to applying. There is a lot of invaluable information there.
Okay. Do they have to have a white tent?
They do, unless there's a waiver granted by the board.
Oh.
Wow. So no blue tents, huh?
Unless there's a waiver granted by the board.
That's it. Stick to your talking point. Excellent.
It goes to the uniformity of the look with the lined up white tents. I don't know if anyone has seen the drone shots of the market with just the lined up white tents. It's just stunning.
So then do these vendors go in front of the board and you guys are testing this food out and product? Like, okay, well,
I wish.
Well, with COVID, that makes it a little bit impossible. What it is, we look at pictures that they submit, and they also provide website and Facebook pages. Occasionally, it will be a conversation. Vendors that have been with us for a while, it's a much easier decision.
Grandfathered in almost.
Right. We have had vendors reach out to us out of the blue that have been just found us. They've heard of us in the Chicagoland area. They wanted to grow their business and reach into Wisconsin. Other vendors have referred new vendors to us just because of the experience that they have had, even in the past few months. A new recruit recruited a new recruit. So, yeah.
Cool.
And these are some amazing products.
And speaking of vendors, one of the things that impressed me the most as I was kind of exploring, thinking about joining the board was a line in some of the background material I was given. And that was that about 10 people who started as vendors have been able to start businesses because of their experience with the harbor market. That is, talk about, to Andrea's point earlier with that gentleman that she talked about, making, not just feeding your family, as important as that is, but making your dreams come true. You started a business, and it started through being part of the harbor market. That is great.
We have an example right here on Donnie's T-shirt by Donovan of Studio Moonfall. He got his start there as a vendor. And now he has his own shop right down there.
And now you guys have the Fontainebleau grilled cheese coming in, and he's looking to start up a shop as well. So I think that'll, help him out right there.
Yeah.
Yes, Blue Popper will be joining us.
Yes, that should be very interesting.
So when you guys launch next Saturday, May 8th, do you have a number of how many vendors you're going to have available?
I'm actually getting more applications, several of them a week, if not every day.
Wow, okay.
So I can't give you a number, and even if I had one, you know my answer by now. I'm not going to, it'll be out of date by the time the podcast airs anyway.
Yeah. Do you have a cap where you're going to be like, okay, we can't take any more. This has to be it. Or are you just going to keep on like going down the streets if you have to and lining them up?
We will expand as much as space permits.
Okay.
We are obviously limited in terms of how many vendors we can fit in because we do have to enforce a 10-foot spacing rule this year, at least at the beginning. We'll see how the season and the pandemic progresses. But obviously you can fit half as many people in that same space as before. But we'll have some exciting news as opening day gets closer in regards to that.
We got exciting news coming out of our pockets.
Yeah,
we walked down the street, it's like, oh, hey, we dropped some exciting news. So we'll roll that out as we go.
It's good things happening at the Kenosha Harbor Market.
Kenosha's original
Harbor
Market.
Is the market going to bring back some of the chef demos that was done in the past? Are you guys do anything like that again?
Perhaps.
Oh.
It's in discussion.
Is that maybe one of the surprises we can't talk about?
It's one of the points of discussion that there's obviously more hoops to jump through safety-wise with doing a food demonstration right now. It's something we're working on, some ideas. One of the many ideas we're kicking around.
Can you give us a couple of those other ideas real quick?
I gave a couple. We're welcoming back the bookmobile and in the blood center vehicle.
Very cool. I know you used to do the indoor market. Are you planning on possibly bringing that back after October 30th when you close up the outdoor?
That's the plan.
Ooh.
That's the plan. We're going to go back to year round. And again, as is the answer with everything, well, why didn't you have a winter market? It was COVID. We had just lost my dad. It was one of those, how can we responsibly and reasonably and safely do an event like that?
And where will this be located at?
Still working on it.
You don't know by now that I keep things very close to the chest here.
Will it be in the older location that you did it a few years ago, or are you moving on? You can give me that, right?
I can't give you anything.
I'll tell you this. It'll be in Kenosha.
Oh, perfect.
That's right.
Yeah,
well, that ties in with the name. Great.
It does. It will be in Ktown. People can connect.
There we go. There we go. I like that. Here's a question for you. The city renamed 6th Avenue after Mike Bjorn. And your dad was such an icon in this town. Do you think they'll rename 2nd Avenue after him?
Oh, that'd be nice.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want anything renamed after anyone. The street already has an honorary name, and I would never dream of that being taken away. And as far as any other memorial to him in the city, I defer all of that to my mom.
There you go.
Right.
It's she's made decisions, tough decisions, easy decisions, sentimental decisions, all of them the right ones because they were hers. And for that one, entirely up to her if she wants to pursue anything with that.
It'll be a great way to pay some more tribute to them. And that's the Kenosha Harbor Market. They are located on 2nd Avenue and 56th Street in beautiful downtown Kenosha. They will be open May 8th till October 30th for the outdoor market every Saturday, 9 a.m. to 2 p.m., rain or shine.
What if there's like a hurricane warning or something?
It doesn't say rain or shine or hurricane.
Right.
It doesn't not say that either.
If the weather is dangerous, we do close down. If it's just sprinkling, like misting, like you can do by the lake, no big deal. High wind, thunderstorms.
Use some common sense, right?
Right. There's a lot of common sense that goes on there.
Good,
would you want to be outside having a picnic? Probably not.
All right. And then you can find them at KenoshaHarborMarket.com. And you know what? This is a good time to take our second break.
All right. And we'll be right back with more. And we're back from another great break.
It was a great break.
We got to hear all the dirty stuff that they couldn't talk about. They told us so much great stuff.
Told us all those surprises that they're
I would back up and say we dish dirt rather than dirty stuff.
Oh,
like we're talking about things that don't have anything to do with the market.
Well, maybe a little bit of both.
He's a true PR guy, this guy. Why don't you give a plug to your business real quick, Gary?
My business. Thank you, Donnie. My public relations firm is Roar. That is found at weroar.la, where you can find it. It's called .la because I still do some work for the film industry. Talked earlier about how I moved back to Kenosha from elsewhere. It was Hollywood that I moved back. So I'm a guy who moved back from Hollywood, California to his hometown of Kenosha, Wisconsin. I can tell you, what do you think makes a guy do that?
Well, probably all that time in Hollywood.
Probably a woman.
Yeah. Ding, 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 ding. It's love, man. That was it. Now my wife. Hi, Kelly.
Aw, so sweet.
I want to meet her.
Well, now we all can.
Fantastic.
She gets her second shot on Friday.
All right. All right, so we're going to do our Quick Connects, and Quick Connects is brought to you by Washed Out, a locally owned hair product. From the suit and tie businessman to the Motorhead leather jacket rocker, Washed Out is loved by those seeking the best hair products at an affordable price. If you want that great me, Donnie Stancado look, visit washedouthairuss.bigcartel.com for details.
Nailed it.
Wow, that was good, except as a guy who's completely bald, I'm like, I'm sure you guys are great washed out hair care, but I just can't feel it because I have no hair.
All right, so we're going to do some quick connects questions here with Andrea and Gary. First question, Andrea, who's your favorite famous Kenosian?
Oh, I actually like watching old episodes of Hill Street Blues.
Okay.
So Daniel Travanti.
All right, nice. Yeah. Gary?
Orson Welles.
Orson Welles, all right.
Ooh. What is your favorite streaming service?
I actually really enjoy Hulu.
HBO Max, baby.
Oh, there you go.
Chance to see all those movies I can't see in the theater in my house. Love it.
So then what are you guys watching currently?
Hulu is often used to stream children's shows in my house.
Okay.
I also try catching up on a few TV shows. Well, I'm doing a little bit of exercise a few times a week, but that's about it.
Gary?
This is going to sound, it's not going to sound really boring. People are going to think it's really boring, but my wife, Kelly, and I love watching Shark Tank. Shark Tank.
All right, what's your favorite movie of all time?
Oh, goodness. I'm going to pass on this one. I'm not asking me that one. I am so not in that mindset. I'll defer to Gary since he's the Hollywood.
Yeah, The Godfather.
All right.
Oh, it's a good one.
First Godfather, you bet.
Besides the Kenosha Harbor Market, what is your favorite annual Kenosha event?
I actually really enjoy the Holy Rosary Festival.
That's a great one.
It is the church that my grandparents got married at, the church that my parents got married at, and the church that I got married at. My mom grew up across the street. I don't know. It's the family church festival in August.
Well, I go to that one quite a bit.
Which one's Holy Rosary? I get my churches confused.
The one on 22nd Avenue.
By Lencey's?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's a great one. That's a great one.
All right. Whether music, TV, or film, what is your guiltiest guilty pleasure?
It's a good one. I order a bit too much takeout.
Okay.
I do. On nights when we run out of food from my mom, there's maybe a little bit too much DoorDash going on.
All right. Okay. That's a good one.
That is an excellent one. What's my guiltiest guilty pleasure? My guiltiest guilty pleasure is probably Amazon.
Shopping.
You know what? I mean, it's like, one click and there it is.
That gets me in trouble as well.
Amen.
All right. Worst job you ever had?
Oh, I answered phones at a pizza place that isn't open anymore. And it started on Sunday mornings during Packer season. You can imagine how much fun that was.
Brutal.
Mine, third shift desk clerk at the Super 8 Motel out by I-94.
Oh, that's the one where they find the dead bodies and stuff, right?
That was not a good.
Now we just have to get you back on to do the show. We can just have a whole hour about you talking about that job.
That may not be enough time to contain it.
All right, favorite park in Kenosha?
I have to go with Harbor Park. The entire expanse of that, having that walking path right along the lake.
Oh yeah,
it's beyond beautiful. The entire lakefront. Every park along the lake has something different to offer.
True.
All of it good.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a far better answer than mine. Mine, I don't even know what it's called now. What the Kingfish play? What's it called? Kingfish Stadium? What's that called?
It's still Simmons Field.
It's still Simmons Field. Yeah, Simmons Field. I mean, I played baseball there when I was a kid. So.
Wow. Okay.
Favorite pizza place in Kenosha?
I'm going to go with Villa DiCarlo.
Good choice.
Luigi's, baby.
Hey,
694-6565.
Order those
Stuck in my head. Stuck in my head for almost 50 years.
All right, I got to ask this one. Ranch with your pizza?
Not since college.
Okay. All right.
No.
I might dip a crust in it if the crust is just there, but I'm not going to dip my pizza in it.
Okay.
No.
Good.
Which now closed Kenosha business do you wish you could bring back?
There are a handful of them. You can't just pick one. I'm excited that Blue Popper is coming because I actually went there as a kid. So I'm excited that there is that reincarnation of the business. Several of the businesses downtown. I remember, Phillips Glass Shop, Gimbals downtown. Any of those would be fun to explore again.
Yeah, okay.
And I'm going to throw back way to my childhood near my house in the era of dime stores, but Wilson's dime store near my house where you could get penny candy.
Was that Town and Country?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. They had the parrots back there?
Yep.
Oh, I hated those birds.
We used to make that parrot say all kinds of
I hate
things
that bird.
said.
All right, what is your go-to karaoke song?
Oh, I got to hear this. I'm excited to hear this.
I Will Survive.
Oh.
There may have been drinking involved at a friend's bachelorette party.
Can you give us a little?
Oh, I
No
knew
way.
you were going to do that. That was excellent. For me, and I actually won when lip sync contests were all the rage in the 80s.
Oh.
I won a lip sync contest singing this song or lip syncing this song, but it's Frank Sinatra, Theme from New York, New York. That is and I've karaoke'd that more times than anybody cares to hear.
Beatles or the Rolling Stones?
Rolling Stones.
Oof. Beatles every day and twice on Sunday.
Wow.
Last one. Big Star or The Spot?
To say The Spot.
Yeah.
The Spot. You bet.
All right.
Okay. All right. There we go. Well, that was our Quick Connects brought to you by Washed Out, a locally owned hair product. And you can find them at washedouthairs.bigcartel.com for details.
So what time is it?
It's time for trivia.
And trivia is brought to you by Coming Up Roses Cleaning and Organizing. For a professional experience at an affordable price, contact Coming Up Roses for your home or office needs. No job is too big, no job is too small. Search Coming Up Roses on Facebook or give them a call at 262-748-6978 to see what they can do for you.
That's Coming Up Roses, Cleaning and
I've
Organizing.
been wanting to read that forever, and you always steal from
Because
me.
I've mastered it.
And now it's time for our trivia segment where we pit the knowledge of our guests against Mr. Donnie Stancato.
And off air earlier, you were mentioning kind of what Donnie's record is, roughly.
I think we're at 2-35.
I kind of think I have 3 somewhere in there.
Okay.
But I know I've beat my friend Sarah, who owns Wink Beauty Boutique, and I also beat the mayor at MASH Trivia.
Okay, so you're 2 for 35, which is kind of like a Kyle Schwarber batting
Yes.
average. Okay.
So if somebody wants to pay me a couple million, that'd be great.
So I was trying to think of something after 30 some episodes. It's kind of hard to come up with new trivia, but I saw that you had your degree in molecular biology.
No, I'm going to be no help here.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure how much you remember, but I have found biology trivia.
Oh boy!
And this is from usefultrivia.com.
You're saying, oh boy.
So if you have,
Really, I'm out. I'm an English major. I'm done.
so if you have any problems, you can contact usefultrivia.com, not me, over these questions.
I'm going to look them up right now.
But there are 5 questions for each of you. You two are a team, so you can
Okay, good.
team up.
Take it away, Andrea.
And we're going to start with Donnie so you guys can see what's going on. This is multiple choice.
Oh, I got a chance.
Yeah. I did look up molecular biology trivia at first, and there was some online. But I was looking through it, and there were so many words that I could not pronounce. I'm like, no, I got to find something a little more basic here. So I just found just general biology.
So they would
here.
think you were Donnie if you were saying words you couldn't pronounce.
Thank God you do this segment.
All right, Donnie. What is the scientific term for the production of light by living organisms? Is it synergy, photosynthesis, bioluminescence, or luminary effervescence?
B.
Photosynthesis?
Yes.
That is incorrect. It is a bioluminescence.
That was my other
I
guess.
thought it was that too.
Many plants and animals are capable of producing visible light.
You knew that.
The scientific term is bioluminescence.
Oh.
All right.
Did you know that one, Andrea?
I did.
She did. She's going to know all of these.
Yep.
She's going to skunk us.
Should I just not give her multiple
Or
choice?
skunk you, because I get to
You're
ride her
part of the team,
coattails here. So
Andrea, what is the most common element in the human body? Is it hydrogen, oxygen, calcium, or carbon?
That would be carbon.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect.
No.
Oxygen is the most common element in the human body, making up almost 63% of the average human, followed by carbon, 19%, hydrogen, 9%, and nitrogen, 5%.
I'm sorry.
Color me surprised.
I leaned over and whispered that in her ear, and that's why we got it wrong. That's what a good board member does.
You're just being nice to me.
Usefultrivia.com. Just saying. All right, no score, Donnie.
All right. Whew.
What human organ cleans 50 gallons of blood every day? Is it the heart, the stomach, kidneys, or liver?
Kidneys.
You are right.
Ooh.
Your kidneys filter 50 gallons of blood every day, producing about 1.5 liters of urine.
Yeah, that's
Donnie
true.
knows his urine.
What can
Donnie's
I
up.
say? I'm European.
Andrea, do you know your fish?
Fish, not so much, but let's have fun.
Unlike most other fish, sharks have no what? Heart, liver, gills, or bones?
Gary, you want to chime in? Yeah. This isn't really a biology question, is it?
Well, not human biology.
Okay.
I would say bones, but I'd probably be wrong.
I'm going to go with bones.
And you would be right.
Woo! Look at us.
Unlike most other fish, a shark has no bones. Its skeleton is made of cartilage.
No bones about that, huh,
Oh,
Gary?
hey, oh. Oh.
So we got a tie game.
All right.
Okay, here we go.
Donnie,
I'm ready.
how many gallons of water can a baobab tree store in its trunk? Is it 3,200, 320, 32, or 32,000?
320.
Incorrect. The explorer David Livingstone described the baobab as having an upside-down appearance because of its massive trunk, which can attain a circumference of more than 82 feet and store up to 32,000 gallons of water.
Wow. Fascinating.
I have to say, that was a really esoteric question.
Yes.
Question for the Harbor Market.
Our chance to go ahead.
Number 3. What illness accounted for 40% of U.S. military casualties during World War I? Was it syphilis, gangrene, influenza, or smallpox?
World War II, you said?
World War I.
World War I. Is it gangrene?
I'm sorry, it's not. It's the flu.
No, I was going to be wrong too.
Remember the
were you gonna
1919
pick?
flu?
Smallpox.
Oh.
The flu killed 43,000
I thought it was
American
smallpox.
servicemen mobilized for World War
Gangrene's a good
I.
guess, though.
We got a tight game here.
Well, what can I say? I know my biology.
Do you?
Urine.
So
You know
it's
your
a-
urine. You got that one.
Is that 1-1 here?
Yep, let's do this.
Question number 4 for Donnie. Which organ do insects not have? A brain, stomach, lungs, or heart?
Brain.
Wrong. It is lungs. Insect respiration is accomplished without lungs. In most cases, air is taken in through openings on the side of the abdomen and thorax called spiracles and transport directly to tissue cells using tracheal tubes.
Ooh.
I'm sure our listeners are just falling asleep right now.
Andrea knew that, by the way.
You get the biology questions, and I know the answer to.
All right, Andrea.
Hey.
And Gary. What living animal has the heaviest brain? The sperm whale, the African bush elephant, the black rhinoceros, or a human?
I'm going to go with the sperm whale.
You would be right.
All right.
Sperm whales have the heaviest brain of any living animal.
That's my partner.
The average sperm whale's brain weighs more than 20 pounds, which is 4 times heavier than the average and 5 times heavier than Donnie's.
I was going to make some kind of sperm joke there. But
I knew you were.
I was thinking.
The moment that was the answer, I thought I regretted making the urine crack at you. So.
All right, Donnie, you just want to tie it up.
Okay, let's do it.
Which of the following has more bones? A teenager, an adult, a baby, or it's a trick question? They're all the same.
They're all the same.
Incorrect. A baby has more bones. As they grow, some of the bones fuse together.
Oh, okay. I did not know that.
Wow. So Andrea and Gary are our winners, but they have one more question we can answer just for fun
we can
here.
just call it whatever we want then. This is good.
C.
Now, this one is very interesting. No, not really. What is the scientific term for an apparent throwback characteristic of an organism that reveals a trait of an earlier ancestor? Is it commensalism, dormancy, meiosis, or atavism?
Let's pick the one that you said the worst.
Is it the meiosis?
Yeah.
No, it's atavism.
Okay.
It is an apparent throwback characteristic of an organism that reveals a trait of an earlier ancestor.
Look at that.
Examples of atavism include hind legs on whales, teeth in chickens, and color blindness in humans.
Fascinating.
Look at that. Donnie, you're 2 for 36.
Well, I mean, I got a good thing going by losing.
Harbor Market has won our trivia against Donnie, and you win our big prize, which is a bottle of Lou Perini's water.
All
You may
right.
take that home, and you may put that up on the mantle at the Harbor Market and say, I won this, beating Donnie Stancato at trivia.
Yes, I mean...
It's a major award.
Yes, it's a major award. You won it.
All right, before we sign off, I'd like to do one last thank you to our sponsors out there.
All right, thank you to Blue Collar Tavern,
To Captain Mike's,
Union Park Tavern,
Lucci's Grandview,
The Pine Blossom,
The Lettering Machine,
Lou Perini's Gas and Grocery. Why do I keep butchering that? Lou Perini's,
Coming Up Roses,
Washed Out Hair Products,
Frank's Diner,
Faded Barbershop for Men.
and Lulubers.
Well, thank you all so much. And thank you both for coming in. So once again, the Kenosha Harbor Market starts May 8th and will be running till October 30th. They're going to be open every Saturday, 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. They're located at 2nd Avenue and 56th Street in beautiful downtown Kenosha.
If you head towards the museum, you'll run right into it.
Right there. You can't miss it. It's been there forever. It's the
But the
original.
trolley comes right by there, too.
Yeah, hop on
So
the trolley.
if,
Go
if
right
it's
down
too
there, yeah.
busy, they can park in that new parking structure downtown. Hop on the trolley bring you right down, right in front, drop you off right there.
But you were going to say something. You said the original what?
It's the original market
There
in
you go.
Kenosha. And thank you guys so much. We really look forward to see what you guys can do this year after the horrible COVID situation. And the Harbor Market is going to be rocking and rolling. I'll definitely be there with my boy.
Absolutely.
So I'll see you guys there.
All right.
Thank you so much. And Jason, that was a pretty fun episode, huh?
Great episode, Donnie.
I'm trying to figure out what we are doing on this show, though. What are we doing?
I don't know. What are we doing?
We are connecting Kenosha.
There you go.
I'm from Kenosha, I say Kenosha, that great big busy town. Right in the middle of the USA, between the New York Harbor and the San Francisco Bay. I'm from Kenosha, say Kenosha, that great big busy town. Right in the middle of the USA, between the New York Harbor and the San Francisco Bay. Well, the wonderful East, the beautiful West, that's the right place to be
This is in